Welcome to the Not Nerd Podcast. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
I am so intrigued to see if it's actually working this week. Who
Yes.
knows?
Oh, I
Is it?
see it on YouTube.
Well,
on
that's
my
an encouragement.
Yes, and it's playing through my computer speakers.
That's always, I like to use this term, less than optimal when
Yeah.
things like that happen. So as
Yes,
we
and I hear
banter,
audio from both of us.
that's
Oh, this
great.
is wonderful.
What's going on? Things seem to be working. And my CPU is
Yes.
only at 64%.
Woohoo.
What more could we want?
What more could we want?
Well, I suppose we should probably talk about content rather than figuring out how our
Yes, if it's actually working, we should stop talking about it. And producer Todd has chimed in to the chat with a thumbs up emoji. So that
Okay.
is a good thing. We are recording a bit early, a couple hours early again this week. Sorry we didn't
Yes.
get the word out on that. Dave has some prior commitments that will soon be coming to an end, but he's
Well,
had a lot of people that are depending on him, so the schedule is not flexible.
yes, and you can tell from my outfit that I'm getting ready for this. It's actually a theatrical production, and
Yes,
this is pretty much my outfit in the production. I'm
nice.
I'm portraying one of three gentlemen who are unhoused, as we say these days.
Oh, perfect. The ideal role for you, Dave. And speaking of the theater,
Hmm.
we've got our new segment of What Got Nate to the Movies.
I don't have a sounder for that.
I know we need the big Paramount or the THX sound.
Something.
Dave, what got me to the movies? I forgot about it last week because due to our rough start to the live stream, I was a little asunder. I'm making up words
I
here.
don't think that's right, but my guess is, and I think I guessed this before and was wrong. Was it Paw Patrol? Is that what got you to the
That was the
theaters?
last one was
Oh,
Paw Patrol.
oh.
So we went again. I've been to the theater
Hmm.
3 times in like the last 2 months, which is a modern record. So there was another movie that I went to go see.
I'm going to guess that the movie was Disney's Wish.
It was
What?
not. We went and saw Trolls.
Oh, of course. How could I forget about the Trolls movies? It's
Yes.
in everything. It's in the movie ride as you go on the screen. It's on all the merchandise in the lobby. It's everywhere. So
It
of
was
course,
actually, we
Trolls.
went to get dinner afterwards with our friends that we went to go see it with at the new, is it Smash Burger?
Hmm.
No, what's the new burger place at Bridgeport Village? And they had t- Trolls themed milkshakes,
Of
including
course.
the one Isla got that was like a sugar cookie purple sparkle blast. Oh man, it was
Wow.
a sugar bomb. But yeah, Trolls has taken over. Good little movie, good fun. Shake Shack, that's the name of it,
Oh,
not
Shake. Oh, there's a
Smashburger.
Shake Shack there?
Yep, Shake Shack is open at Bridgeport Village for
Tyler
our
and I
all
have
our
been driving
local.
way out to like Beaverton
Yeah,
to go to that one.
yes. Now you've got it much closer. It just recently
I
opened a
know what I'm
couple
doing for
weeks
lunch
ago.
tomorrow.
But anyways, and my hat selection
Mm,
this week is another premium selection from Draplin Design Company
I can
with
tell.
our lovely state of Oregon on it. One of many in my collection, and I wore this one because he has started his season of Merchmas, and I
Okay.
got in the mail today not another hat from him, but he had on Black Friday. It was whatever you like 19.99. I'll send you a random shirt and some stuff. So I of course ordered it because I loved it, and I got this nice
Mm,
Draplin designed shirt. He gave me
that's
a bunch
very
of
nice.
stickers,
What?
some of his matches, bunch of stickers,
Why does he
and
have matches? I didn't know he did matches.
because it's a thing that he can do. He does it all. And the DDC brand 2-bit vinyl card case.
Mm,
I just love it. It's such retro stuff. But anyways, that's why I picked a Draplin hat again this week.
Okay. I
But
picked
and
an
Dave,
Old Navy beanie
yes,
type hat
it's
that makes
very
me look like
nice.
I'm going to rob somebody's house. So,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And do you
Oh,
have a mug for us this week?
well,
Now, besides your beautiful mug,
right.
a drinking vessel.
Well, for those of you who noticed I wasn't paying attention earlier, you got a sneak peek, but here it is.
South Carolina.
Yes, part of the Been There series from Starbucks, South Carolina. We got this when we went to visit my boy who was in basic training out
Oh,
there.
yes, yes, that's
I can't
right.
tell you where he was in basic
Yes.
training because secret,
Area 53.
but it's probably not the giant army base that's out there.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm. Well, now that we got all that good stuff out of the way, I think we're about done for the week.
All right, well, that's great. I'm looking
Good,
forward to going to rehearsal
good
and
pod.
oh, we should probably do more, I
Uh,
guess.
Oh, and producer Todd said, "Is Trolls a sequel to the those two that came out a few years ago, or a new one?" It is the third installment of the Trolls movie. So there was
It's not a
Trolls
reboot.
World Tour. It's not a reboot. It is an um, continuation. Trolls band together with a strong boy band
Mm,
theme to it. But yes, so Trolls 3,
it
get
is
out
a
and see
sequel.
it.
I think I've only seen the first one and I did not hate it.
Yes,
But
yeah, it's got fun music. As a DJ, like that they're covering all the different songs and everything, and it's exciting. Better than the Paw Patrol movie. I don't know if I said on the podcast, but
mm,
that was the first kids movie I had seen in a long time that was just like pure kids movie. Just
garbage.
Paw Patrol, like no, they usually sneak in not adult humor, but kind of jokes for grown-ups and some of that stuff. It was just pure, we're gonna save the world. But not the worst movie I've ever seen. But anyways, all of that aside, let us get into some follow-up. And as we record this, I wanted to check in. We're nearing the end of Cyber Monday, but
Mm.
I looking at my email, I didn't get on my email much over the weekend. We did some traveling and family stuff. I had over 1,000 emails in my
Oh,
promotions folder, but I noticed today I was getting a lot of Cyber Week emails. So I mean, it's just like
it's endless.
from Labor Day until Christmas Eve, it is just supposed
Yeah.
discounts.
Well, I saw two posts on Reddit, one from Walmart and one in Target, where people were showing just
Oh, behind
mountains
the
of
tags.
unsold
Oh,
merchandise. And yeah, the
yeah,
Target tag where someone pulled it out, it's the exact same price. It just said
yeah,
Black Friday. That stuff just drives me crazy, but it's,
yes,
buyer
yes.
beware.
Buyer beware. Do your research. And Dave, we might be discussing some deals later in the
Okay.
episode, but anything else? Did you go out shopping? That's the one thing. Like, I do not understand who goes out shopping, at 6 a.m. on Friday for Black Friday. It's like just go online. But I did. Uh, I did talk to a friend today who he does some security, I think for a H&M store at the mall, and he said that Friday was just packed at the mall,
Yeah.
which people still do it. They go out and shop.
People are looking for opportunities to be taken advantage of by
Yes.
corporations.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, speaking of taking advantage of corporations, Apple came out with a little holiday film
They
short that
did.
you shared with me, the Fuzzy Feelings video.
Yeah, and I'll put it here in the browser window, but I watched it and I was like a little confused, and then I was like, oh, I kind of get what's happening here.
Yes, yes.
Um, but it is a heartwarming little video that you should check out. Let's see if I can play this.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
with
I
some
don't want the audio.
No, don't want Apple taking us down.
Oh
But yes,
boy,
it
man,
does. It has some stop animation, which curiously is being filmed on iPhone. Who would have
yes,
thought that they'd be using an iPhone in a video from Apple? But yeah,
and
it's only what 3.5 minutes long, 4 minutes long. It's not too long, but a
yeah,
good little heartwarming story to kick off the holidays.
for some reason it's not playing very well, uh, but you get the idea. It's a live action and a stop motion
Yes,
type
and we
thing.
should do some comparisons. I'm looking on the screen there. That office set,
Hmm.
I would be willing to bet that is the same set that they use for the living room in the M3 announcement, that they have switched out from it just has the same dimensions of a room
It's
as
possible.
that. So do some pixel peeping and see if they're reusing sets.
Hmm.
But yeah, fun little video. So wanted to make sure we brought it up, and a link in the show notes, or if you just search Fuzzy Feelings on the YouTubes, you
And
will
they
come
have a behind
across
the
it.
scenes of how they made it as well. Now,
Oh,
is there phoneception happening here? So she used the phone to make the stop motion, but did they film the commercial or the
I'm
with?
sure they probably did film the whole thing on iPhone
And
again,
I
since
wonder if they
that's
filmed
their
the behind the scenes video with
on
an iPhone also.
iPhone, iPhones all the way down.
iPhoneception, yeah. So
Yes,
anyway,
yes,
that's
indeed.
me in 20 years, by the way, that guy.
Yes, the guy in the yeah, that's not the theatrical. You guys aren't doing a version of Fuzzy Feelings for your
No.
theatrical performance. Well, this next one, I saw this a week or two ago, but I wanted to bring it up with you because I know this is kind of your realm. But Amazon will officially merge Comixology with Kindle in December.
Yes.
So, are you still using Comixology?
Well, I've had it
Or-
downloaded and I use it occasionally. Um, but a while ago, comics that you bought through Amazon have been available in the Kindle app, and the
Oh, okay.
experience was practically the same.
Yeah.
Now they're identical, and the Comixology app is going to be phased out. But honestly, when Amazon bought the Comixology app, that was the beginning of the end because you couldn't easily go through and use the app to shop. Oh, there's a comic, I want that, and I buy that, and I do
Oh,
whatever. It was like, here's a bunch of things that you could buy if you go to Amazon or the Comixology app or sorry website and then buy them and then
yes.
they'll show up on your iPad. Ever since that happened, it just has been more and more difficult to use. And so um, I may have I don't want to waste a pick of the week, but I will in response of this. There was a deal I found online, and I am now proudly a subscriber of Marvel Unlimited
Oh,
comic app. They have their own app, and you
okay.
subscribe to it. It's like Netflix, one price, all you can eat. So
Nice.
that's kind of the way to do it. So I'm very much looking forward to reading the entire run of over 170 issues of Peter Parker's Spider-Man.
Wow.
So, or sorry,
Wowzers.
Peter Piper's, Peter Parker's spectacular Spider-Man. Not amazing,
Gee.
spectacular. Yeah,
Spectacular.
yeah, spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular.
So
And
now you've known more than you've wanted to know.
this is true. Although my Isla is getting into some different graphic novel series. She's not doing comic books yet, but some different stuff that she gets from the library or the
Hmm.
Lego magazine where they have some type stuff. So I can see that maybe I will be getting into comics more and more as she does. So
Well, I've got some graphic novels back here on the shelf. I'm sure you're surprised. They are more adult oriented. I mean, they're not like pornography, but
yes,
they
yes.
adult themes. I could send those to Isla, and she could flip through them and see what's happening with people getting killed and
Yeah,
those type of
yeah,
things.
that's not really her world yet. More of Legos having a fun time together. And I
Yeah.
am seeing a warning. I hate to dive into streaming stuff about our primary and backup streams being configured correctly.
Hmm.
One of the streams has an invalid configuration, but everything seems to be working on the streams. So,
Well, YouTube can go and take a flying leap off a short pier because I don't believe their warnings. They tell
Yeah.
you things are not working, but they're working. So
They
whatevs.
they they seem to be and in services that you didn't know existed, Google News removing magazines, including the ones you paid for in December. So
Here, before you continue, pro tip: uh, do not purchase any good through any Google service because it will
yeah,
likely go away. End of pro
yes.
tip. Please continue there, Nate.
Yeah. So part of their news.google.com, you had paid magazines that you could subscribe to within that, and they're going away. Now, I honestly have a hard time understanding how magazines still exist, since we have the internet and we have the internet in our hands at all
Hmm.
times. Like even at the airport, if I'm getting on a plane, I'll just be on my phone. Like I don't. When was the last time you purchased a magazine?
You're hearing cricket. I need a cricket noise. It's been years, my friend.
Yeah.
However, I do occasionally, and I just the other day on my iPad navigated to Apple News, which is still a functioning service.
Yes.
And I went to some of the magazines that are freely available. There was a
Yeah.
Macintosh magazine, and I looked at it on my iPad. But purchasing one that's made of dead trees, it's years, years.
Yeah. Yeah, we get a couple in the mail occasionally from whatever random subscription, but yeah, you go to we were at Barnes and Noble walking around, and I see the magazine section. I'm like, I don't even have any interest in looking at what's there. Like by the time a magazine gets printed, the news is old and anyways, so I
Yeah.
can understand why Google's doing this, but at the same time, another item for the Google graveyard.
Mm, it's sad. I mean, they
Yes.
always have these services, but they don't put in the effort to stick with them. And people
Yeah.
don't even know about them. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're
Yeah.
just going to do it and waste money and then shut it down in 3 years.
Yes. Well, you know what everybody should know about Dave's Pro Tip of the Week.
Well, so today, uh, friends and neighbors, I wanted to mention that I went over to our dear friends, Chris and Carolyn's, and shout out to Aubrey and Landon as well, for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
And
yes.
one thing that though that family can do that I cannot is speak Spanish.
Oh,
And they had invited some people they knew that were from Colombia and another friend that they knew, I think, who was from Mexico. And so it was a very multicultural, multi bilingual environment.
yes.
And of course, I did my go-to joke. I know how to speak some Spanish. Burrito, taco, chimichanga. And of course, it got the appropriate laughs, which was not very
Yes.
many. Um, so it got me on this idea of learning a new language or
Yeah.
uh, wanting to do that. And so, in looking through some tips today, I came across uh, using your phone to translate things.
Mm.
And they were using some of the phone technologies and were showing different things and whatever. And I was like, I want to try that out. And so, what I have done, dear friends, is connected my phone to the computer here, and I want to show you an example of what you can do just through the photo app on your iPhone, and it works similarly on Android devices. But if we go to my phone here, I got my
Oh,
phone camera.
yes.
You can see all the behind the scenes. I don't want to zoom out too far, but I've got some Japanese text here on the screen. And so if I click in the bottom right hand corner, you'll notice a little icon will appear when it
Oh, yes.
detects the text, right? So this is just like if you're copying text that you want to email somebody. Well, you click it, and now in the bottom left corner, since it's detected it's a foreign language, there's a button that has appeared. So I'm going to click translate, and boom, Bob's your uncle. Just because you learn, blah,
Wow.
blah, 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 whatever it says. And if I actually touch the text, I get a little share sheet option that has the text. I can copy it. I can add it to favorites, open in the Translate app, which we've talked about
Mm,
before, where you can
yeah.
type in words in one language and it translates it to another language. Or you can go into the settings and download more languages. So anyway, I had never really used the photo app to do something like that. So Nate, what say you?
That is good. I know Google had their version of the app for quite a long time, and we've talked a lot about using the text recognition in there, but that is great. And, if you were traveling or just there's a sign or something in a different language to be able to quickly translate that
And
with the
that's the tip.
camera app.
Yeah, that's the tip. You don't have to open up another app or find it,
Yeah.
or oh, I didn't download it or whatever. The camera app's built in. So boom, there it is. Very
Yes,
handy.
that is very, very nice. I like it. Well, it is time for everybody's favorite segment, Just the Headlines. And here we go. We've got the driveway cam fired up. Since we're recording earlier, there's still some daylight, some traffic in the distance there. You really should be watching on YouTube. I know that podcasts are nice, but oh, somebody's backing up. Don't hit the fire
Oh,
hydrant.
mm.
If you're listening, you're missing this good quality content
Yeah, and a neighbor
provided
pulled
by
through earlier in a truck
Wisecam.
that he's fixing.
Oh, nice.
His
Very
third
cool.
vehicle.
Okay,
Yeah, go
enough
ahead.
distraction. Time for just the headlines.
Oh, wait.
Amazon to stop selling 7 eye drops after FDA warning.
My eyes.
Google Maps new color scheme draws criticism online.
As it should.
A NASA spacecraft could carry your name to Jupiter in 2024. Nothing. NASA's Psyche spacecraft just fired a laser 10 million with an M miles away in deep space.
Stop ticking off the aliens.
Hyundai to be first automaker to sell new cars on Amazon.
I might be a new customer.
Elon Musk sues Media Matters for knowingly and maliciously misrepresenting amount of anti-Semitic content on
No
X.
comment.
And those are just the headlines. Yes, leave that last one alone and let the courts handle it. But let us move on to our takes of the week. And it has been a while, but we are nearing the end of the year. So we have one of these articles that everybody starts doing. Speaking of magazines, from time.com, it is the best inventions of 2023, 200 innovations changing how we live. And we are going to go through each one in
All right, let me
detail.
get a browser window open for every single one here.
Yes, yes. But they start off with an accessibility section with some canes and some walking aids and um, the Naki neural earbuds, which is control for quadriplegics.
Oh, check
But
this out. The Braille
oh yeah, the Braille
Legos.
Lego.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's kind of
very
cool.
cool. Robotic toothbrush, but then we get into AI stuff, which of course over the last year has been all the rage. GPT-4, the Adobe Photoshop Generative Expand and Generative Fill, which I use quite a bit.
Yeah.
I even used that on. For one of our neighbors, I shot some quick Christmas photos with my phone and a couple lights, and there was some glare on his glasses, and I used the generative fill and it took the glare right out. Now it gives you a couple options. Some of them made his eyes look really weird, but I was always able to get a good one there. But
Good.
this list goes on. I mean, the AI section, there's a ton of stuff. They've got that humane AI pin there, which jury's still out on that one. Apps
Yeah.
and software. A whole bunch of there's a lot of stuff here that I had not heard about.
Oh, whoops.
Um, AR and VR, the Apple Vision Pro, which comes out next year. But it's a really thorough list of just the stuff that was that came out this year, was announced this year. But if you're looking to see what the best inventions of 2023 is, anything
Oh,
grabbing your eye here?
yeah, what is this? Mediva Surgical AR. Look at that. I can see the guy's brain.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. The Sony Alpha 7 RV, is that the one that we talked about? That's the crazy new Sony camera.
Oh
Um,
yeah, that can. Yeah.
Change the world. A faster connection, Intel Thunderbolt 5,
Uh,
which I just
I
started
just got
getting
four.
Thunderbolts 4 stuff. Come
I
on.
just got rid of a computer that had three, and I got one that had four, and now there's five. That's just
Jeez,
not cool.
slow down.
Oh
The
wait, look at this
fireplace of the
fireplace.
future. Yeah,
What is?
that caught both our eyes at the same time.
Looks like a digital clock with a built-in screen that has
Yes,
a fireplace in
the
it.
Amazon Echo Spot with fire.
Pretty much. Anyway, that's
Yes.
pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of fun stuff, and of course, take some time and scroll through that and look and see what's been invented. Man, 200 items. That's a lot of stuff, and oh, some very ugly marathon shoes. Ooh, food and drink section. PDX Fast
Mm,
Foodie perks up.
yes, you need to
Oh,
get on that.
fake meat, not for me. Um, oh, there's just so much stuff out there being created. It is so cool to see how people are innovating at such a rapid pace. Ooh, solar panel nanogrids, household section, medical care section.
Nate, I feel
What
like
else
we
we
need to
got?
have an intervention here to
Yes,
get you off of this website.
yes, outdoors, parenting. We're almost there. Productivity, robotics. Sustainability. Okay, I'm stopping there. There's more sections, and I could just keep going. But
Okay.
yeah, with 200 inventions, I'm going to stop and move on to a very interesting story that came out this week in the New York Times. The strange 55 million dollar with an M saga of a Netflix series you'll never see after suitors flocked to a sci-fi project by Carl Rinch, director of a single movie. The winner handed over money and control. They're still fighting. And so, my understanding, got $55 million, started putting it into the stock market,
Uh,
lost a bunch of it, bought some Dogecoin,
oh
made a
boy.
bunch of money, but never actually produced a movie.
Uh, yeah, that seems like it's fraud, maybe.
Yes, yes. Netflix burned more than $55 million on Mr. Lynch's show, and it gave him near total budgetary and creative latitude, but never received a single finished episode.
Wow.
Oh.
I maybe this will determine how they draw up contracts in the future.
Yes, yes. Well, and I think we had heard some stories about most of the streaming services were cutting back. They weren't doing quite the blank check thing. So I wanted to talk about this one because this would be a good explanation why they shouldn't just write blank checks to people and not keep track of the money at all.
Yeah, it seems like a
Um,
really bad idea.
Yes, yeah. So the last part of it that I was reading, he did make a bunch of the money back in Dogecoin and sold at a good time because then it went way down back in the heyday. But yeah, just hey
That's
Netflix, I'm gonna
ridiculous.
make you a show, give me a bunch of money, and then I'm gonna go do whatever I want with it. So. He did towards the end of the article. Mr. Lynch then went on a spending spree after he got 20. He liquidated his Dogecoin positions in May of 2021. Nice timing. He had a balance of nearly 27 million, and he went on a spending spree. He bought five Rolls Royces,
Ah,
a Ferrari, a $387,000 Vacheron Constantine watch, and millions of dollars worth of high-end furniture and designer clothing. The tab came out to 8.7 million with an M, according to a forensic accountant.
Well, there's still a
Oh,
lot left to make a movie. You still
yeah,
got like
yeah.
$49,000. Wait, where'd that go?
Yeah, he responded in a deposition that the cars and
Or a
furniture were
million?
props for conquest and that he had paid for them with Netflix's production money. But in an arbitration case, Netflix took a different position. Oh man, so yeah, that is a wild story there of
Wow.
money well wasted by Netflix. So the next time your Netflix pricing goes up again, you can thank Mr. Wrench for that.
Hmm.
Uh, um, Another interesting story that came out this week. We've talked some about, well, we always talk about iPhone cases and everything, and there's two brands. One of them is Dbrand,
Hey,
which I
Nate,
think we probably, yeah.
I want to just interrupt you real quick. You were getting a little chunky there. I want to make sure that everything is
Oh,
okay on your end.
yes, let's see. Yeah, there is no,
Okay.
besides loading an iMore web page without
That's
an ad
probably what it
blocker,
was.
which is, if, yes, I should not link to iMore or I should turn on an ad blocker
Yeah.
for
But
the
yes,
show
you were
notes.
mentioning Caseify and Dbrand's
Yes,
skins and cases.
Casetify and Dbrand. So Dbrand came out with an iPhone 15 case that looks like the internal of your phone, so it's kind of like an X-ray case. Well, a lot of people started noticing that the Casetify X-ray case looked very similar, including some. There's some little Easter eggs on the Dbrand one, like in the picture here. It says "glass is glass" and "glass breaks." And then if you look at the Casetify version, it has the same text. It's very hard to read. So they like literally copied
Mm-hmm.
what Dbrand did and then just made it less quality and put out a case. So I think after this, the Casetify website said, we'll be back soon. And
Yeah. They're
Dbrand
being
is coming after them
sued.
legally.
Yeah, I
Yes.
watched what is it? Jerry Riggs Everything.
Oh, yeah.
He partners with Dbrand, and he's the one who helped design those skins. And he's the one that has the phrase "glass is glass and glass breaks," which I mean, he was really proud of that when I watched the video. I'm like, that's not a very quotable section there. I mean, I wouldn't want that
Yeah.
on my gravestone of
Yes.
something that I said, but
Yes.
anyway, that's what he does. And so he showed multiple examples of Easter eggs and customized things and
Yeah.
phrases that they use that are inside jokes that were also copied onto uh, the
The
Casetify
Casetify
stuff.
version. Yes, yes. And the Casetify website went offline, as I said, but they said that they were investigating a DDoS attack on their website, and that's why it's down. But then they did come with a statement. Casetify has always been a bastion of originality, and we hold pride in that. We are currently investigating a copyright allegation against us. We have immediately removed the designs in question from all platforms.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah, they got caught.
They're not allegations, they're proof of
Yes, yes,
inappropriate behavior.
yes, it is obvious, obvious, but I guess we'll let the courts
We'll let the
decide.
courts decide. Yes.
And a little security and privacy story. You actually found this one, and like I mentioned last week, I'm going to try to get away from the breach type stuff because that stuff is never ending and it's always the same stuff. But you found this from 9 to 5 Mac, and they say Windows Hello fingerprint security tests failed on top 3 laptops.
Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah,
people make fun of Apple all the time, including that Jerry Rig Everything guy, about how expensive Apple's laptops are and how they're so full of themselves and they're high on their own supply. But man, you cannot argue with how well they implement features like
yeah,
trackpads, like fingerprint sensors, like anything. They're rock solid. And then when wannabes come along, and speaking of wannabe, I was next to a friend who was using her laptop the other day, and it was in a darker room, and I was kind of leaning. I'm like, is that a MacBook Air? And I'm looking, and it looked it was too thick to be. And I was like,
ah,
so I finally looked around behind, and it was a Windows Surface laptop.
oh, okay,
And
yeah,
so, I mean, anyway, I'm defending Apple again, but everybody wants to be them. They even make their products look identical to them. But here is one example of how you can see that just because they look the same, they do not operate the same. Yeah, it's terrifying that they were easily, well, I couldn't do it, but
Yes, yes.
researchers could easily break into these things through the fingerprint sensor.
Yeah, so it was a Dell Inspiron 15, Lenovo ThinkPad T14, and the Microsoft Surface Pro type cover with fingerprint ID for Surface Pro 8/X. And
Sounds
they
like a
go through,
Microsoft title.
yes, yeah, and Microsoft actually paid, these researchers to try to break in, but they give a detailed explanation of how they were able to break it. And for like the Dell, it involves booting to Linux and enumerating valid IDs and
Doesn't matter.
um,
Those
the
things can easily
Lenovo
be done by people who
decrypting.
know.
Yeah, decrypt encrypted blob with key derived from product name and serial number. And then I think
Easily
it sounded
available.
like the Surface was the um, easiest one to
Yeah.
bypass. So man,
I know. It's just how long have fingerprint sensors been around and how long have really good ones been around?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, Apple uses a T2 security process that I remember talking about this years ago on when they first added the thumbprint sensor to the iPhone 5, I think it was. Um, there between the sensor and the circuit board is a tiny cable. It's like that big. It's like 2 millimeters,
yeah.
3 millimeters, and they had a chip on either end of the cable which encrypted the traffic for one
Wow.
millimeter
Yeah,
because someone could go in and intercept the communication between the thumbprint sensor and the circuit board. So the tiny cable actually had a security layer on it. That's how much Apple cares about security.
yeah,
Anyone else
yeah.
would have been who's got nobody can do that, you know. It's like nation states can do it. Jerry rig
Yes,
everything could do it probably.
yes, yeah, yeah. No, it's just wild, but it's another reason why we like Apple, that attention to detail and yeah,
Anyway, sorry
Dell,
that turned into a
Lenovo, and
commercial for
Microsoft.
Apple, but
Well, hey, that's usually what the security and privacy section does turn into. But let us move on to our bonus odd take of the week. Now, I came across this as a link in a different article with just some different fun websites. And you go there and you go, okay, MacLarty.com, and you see some games there. So he's a game developer, and there's a bunch of all kinds of different games that he has on there for different platforms. I clicked on a couple. There was some from iOS, some from Steam, and different platforms. There's one from, and it goes back over the years to Jelly Juggle. But if you stay on the homepage,
oh, I already dove
and
into a hole. Sorry.
I know you're already downloading and playing games over there,
Okay, I'm
but
on the
if you just
homepage.
keep scrolling down, you will start to see some fractally um,
Oh,
prismatic designs, and you just keep scrolling down there, and it's got these really cool color designs. And then if you get all the way to the bottom, you could subscribe to his mailing list, which, you know what, I'm going to do that because I like this guy and he has a fun little website there. I'm subscribing, almost finished. Oh, I'll have to confirm. But so, kind of a combo bonus. I'd take a fun little website idea with some fun colors, and then just a bunch of different random looking games that he has developed. The first ones he has listed is from 2010, good old Tappy Sack.
I gotta find this here. I went too far. Tappy sack.
Tappy Sack is a simple game where your goal is to keep your hacky sack in the air by tapping it. The longer it stays up,
Oh,
the more colorful and alive the background becomes.
it's
Music
available in the App
plays.
Store.
Oh, nice. Yeah. How do we not know about Tappy Sack?
I mean, the
Ah.
artwork looks like it was drawn by a 12-year-old.
Yes, app is not available in my country or region. That might just be because I'm on my Mac, or the
Possibly.
fact that it was from 2010. But yeah, fun little website there that I came across, and IanMacLarty.com, and I will have a link in the show notes, like all of our links in the show notes, especially our picks of the week.
That's right. This week's pick is brought to you by Anker, a
Oh, we
trusted
love
name
Anchor,
in
one
electronics
of our top
devices.
brands.
So last week, I used a combination of this device plus this cable that plugged it into this other thing, and then I used one of the many ports on my new computer to do the live stream yesterday or last week. This week, I'm
Yes,
using a much more
the
expensive than I
real
should.
deal.
Yeah, I think I got it on a Black Friday deal. This is the Anker Apex Thunderbolt 4
Oh,
docking
good old
station.
Thunderbolt 4, now that Thunderbolt 5
I
is
know.
out.
No wonder it was on sale. Piece of
Yeah,
garbage. But
Thunderbolt 4 is still amazing, folks, and better than most of the connections that you use on your computer. We
yeah.
jest.
So what this thing is a little box. I'll just hold it up again. And on the front, you plug in your computer.
Yeah,
You turn it on. There's an SD card slot, even though my new computer has one now. Like I should have got this like 5 years ago.
yeah.
Uh, but the point of this device is it's all in one unit. And in the back, you can plug in the
Oh,
power, you can plug in your monitors. I have one monitor plugged in through a Thunderbolt because it's a Thunderbolt dock. I can do that.
mm-hmm.
And it goes to my monitor. I've got Ethernet, two USB 3.0 speeds, and then what does that say? Just
USB.
standard run of the mill USB 2.0.
Yes.
And I'm a little disappointed that those USB 3 are only 10 gigabit. I wanted 40 gigabit, but I guess that's only on Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
So uh, now, let's go, shall we? Let's go
Oh,
to the Dave cam here, real quick. Um, you can see here's my laptop.
yeah.
Nothing on this side.
One cable to
One
rule
cable
them
to rule them
all.
all. And let's see what my power is, because if you don't have a good enough power supply, then you're going to run out of juice, which I've done before. Look at that,
100%.
100%.
Very
So
nice.
there you go. One cable to rule them all through the power
Yes.
of Thunderbolt 4.
Yes,
So
which
there you go.
is very nice. And you can run your multiple monitors with your new laptop. You can
Hmm.
plug in all kinds of stuff. I have a similar device. It is not as good as that one. It's an HP one that I happened upon. But, when you've got a laptop and you sit down at your desk and you just want to plug one cable in, the one thing mine doesn't have, I wish it had, was more USB-C ports.
Yeah, I know.
Because,
Mine only has one.
yeah.
Well, no, I'm sorry.
And
There's one on the front too.
one on the front and one on the
So
back.
two, I
And I
guess.
don't know, mine might have one on it, but I do have the ports on my laptop that I can plug like my headset and my camera into. But no, that is a very nice dock. We were discussing dock options for you, and I'm glad you found that one on a Black Friday deal with Amazon.
Yeah, I paid. It was like $160 or whatever. But I mean, it's gonna last me a long time, and
Yes,
it's given me what I need to just have the one cable thing without all
yes.
these dongles and
Unlike your old laptop where you had 25 dongles and
yeah,
USB hubs and everything hanging off of it. So
yeah.
I am very excited. I went and looked at it. I was like, I don't need to upgrade. Mine works just fine.
Well,
But
I got the 777. I think they have a 757 that was a little cheaper.
oh, yes,
Maybe a
yes,
10 in
indeed.
one instead of a 12 in one.
Well, my pick of the week this week, it is a upgrade side middle around the way pick. And Dave, since day one, it was almost 7 years ago that the first AirPods came out. Now, I don't know if these are the first ones or the non-pro AirPods. And I've had like 5 pairs of those, 4 or 5 pairs. And
Wow.
then I did when they came out with the AirPods 3. Um, so the AirPods 2, then the AirPods 3, which is kind of a hybrid between the regular and the pros. But Dave, how long have I just been swearing? Oh, all you need is the AirPods second generation. You can get them cheap. You can get them for like $80 on a sale. You would never need the AirPods Pro. Well, Dave, I did it.
Oh
I
boy.
have here the AirPods Pro USB-C. So these are the latest ones that I gotta get my face out so it'll focus. That they just recently released.
Look at
So
you.
it's the latest version. Now, they retail for $249, but these were on sale for I think it was $189.
That's yeah,
So
that's the best I've seen.
$60 off on Amazon, and I haven't seen that deal again. But I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to give these a try. I can always send them back to Amazon if I don't like them. I do. Pro tip: I do recommend spend like the 15, $20 on Apple Care for
Hmm.
your AirPods. That way, if you have any issues within 2 years, they'll take care of it for you. But
You likely will.
I've been using these for a while. I actually got them, what was it, the Amazon Prime deal days, the kickoff of the fall deal season. So I've been using them for a while. I still don't use the noise canceling very often, but I have used it. Now, these ones I think are pretty much the same as the AirPods Pro second generation with lightning, except for they have a little bit better dust and moisture prevention, but it does have the adaptive audio, the active noise cancellation, the transparency mode. It's got the spatial audio with the head tracking, the conversation awareness. Now, that
Oh
one
yeah, I haven't.
tweaks me out a little bit because it's
Mine
like you
doesn't
put
have
it
that.
in, you start talking, and then it lowers the volumes, and it's like, so if you make the wrong noise then it lowers. Um, but I will say I still really like the AirPods second generation. One of the things I like is they have just the tap instead of the click to like play or pause. And I think these ones got down to 16. Yeah, I posted it on Facebook, the Not Nerd Facebook page. These were down to $69 a pair.
Wow.
So that was a great deal. But one of the things I'm trying to train myself to use on these is on the little touchpad, you can slide up and down to adjust the volume instead of getting your phone out or opening it
Yeah, I wish
on your
mine had that
watch
too.
and doing all that. That is a very nice feature. You will notice I have some black tips on there.
Well, you need to
The
clean your ears out, brother.
Yeah, I've got some serious ear problems. Do you have any medical advice for me?
Well, if your
Um,
earwax is black, I'm thinking,
yeah,
yikes.
yikes. But the Apple tips, I tried the medium and the large size, and they stayed in pretty well. But after a while, they would come kind of loose and they fell out a couple times. So these
Hmm.
are just some $7 ones,
Oh, okay.
I think, off Amazon that are memory foam. You can
Yeah,
spend whatever you want on those, but I
I need to
figured,
try some of those.
yeah, and I have not had a problem since. And on the other, the normal AirPods, those things never fell out of my ear once. And now with these tips on there, I'll put that on Not Picks as well. And I know I'm going on and on, but this is kind of a big deal
Oh,
that
cool.
I've gone AirPods Pro. And I was talking with somebody the other day. He was looking at Black Friday that the AirPods Pro second generation with the Lightning, those ones were down to I think 169.
Hmm.
And him and I were talking. He's like, he's going to have his Lightning phone for a while, so he's not getting rid of Lightning cable. I
Well,
said, that's good enough for
you
you.
should consider this as well. The if I think all of them come with a charging case now. And so what I do at night is I lay this on my little inductive
Oh, the
charger next to my
wireless,
bed.
yes.
I don't think I've used well, I was going to say it's
Oh,
been a
the
while,
port.
but it actually was recently because I don't have one of those on my desk here. So I used my lightning cable to kind of charge them
Yes.
up. But I mean, for the most part, I just wirelessly charge them.
And are those, do you have, those are the first generation AirPods Pro?
First generation AirPod Pro. Yep.
Pro. Okay. And I was looking another comparison between my Gen 2s and my Pro. The battery life is a full hour higher of listening time on the Pros and the third generation ones
Yeah.
that were out. But a lot of the features are similar. But yeah, this one has MagSafe charging case, USB-C, and it has the a speaker in it.
Mm.
In the bottom, there's a speaker so it can play sounds for like Find My.
Man,
And
I
on
need
the
to get
side,
second generation ones.
you've got the lanyard hole, which I do not have a lanyard because they just live in my pocket. But
Yeah.
um, I I really like these. They're good. And oh, bonus pro tip: I used to turn off the switching like between my phone and the computer because it was never doing the right thing. With Sonoma in the latest version of iOS, that switching has gotten, I mean, it's instantaneous. It gets where I want it immediately. And it's really nice. So because I've started watching YouTube a lot more while I'm working on my computer and stuff. So I'm using the audio on my laptop more while I'm sitting at my desk and just have my AirPod in. Then if I get a phone call, switches
Mm.
over to my phone immediately. So AirPods in general, the pros are great. And if you're trying to save money, go with the second generation. You can get the non charging case one. Those are usually the cheapest, like at the $69. But I wouldn't pay more than 80 for the regular AirPods and then get it under 200 for the pros because
Yeah. And they should
there's some
last a few
deals.
years, a
Yeah.
couple years for sure. And then the batteries start to wane. But it's just the cost of doing business, my friend.
I know. Yeah. And I'm a power user. I use them all day, every day. So I have gone through more pairs than the average bear.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So AirPods, they're cool. They're a thing. Can you imagine? That's 7 years we've had AirPods. It
I know.
seems wild that it's been that long. But I
Yeah.
can't remember life before with wired headphones like a producer Todd or something.
Like a
But
caveman.
yes, but Dave, we do have another Ramazon purchase of the week. I have
And
not heard back from anybody on last week's for that camera grip with the Bluetooth shutter.
and
But
and if
yeah,
you listen closely this week, we had the sounder play.
yes,
Ah, man,
yes,
so
there
good.
it is. Yes. And oh, producer Todd is reminding me, and Dave, I don't know if you're aware, but last night I recorded an episode of the Mark and Toddcast, or the Nate and Toddcast.
Mm.
Mark was out of town, so I filled in over there. So go check out the Mark and Toddcast. That should be out. Usually drops on Tuesday afternoon, I believe.
I'm a little
So
confused. How does Mark's being out of town mean he can't record the podcast? That's never
uh,
stopped us before.
yes, well, nothing bad about the Mark and Todd cast. They have a little different priorities when it comes to
Oh,
podcast
mm,
recording. And Todd thought to himself, who do I know that would be available to make himself out in the public sphere at the drop of a hat?
well, I know he
And he
wanted
thought of
me,
me.
but he knew that I was
Yes,
busy.
well,
So,
you were busy, so I was next. But back to our Amazon purchase of the week, I do want to thank you guys. We're getting a lot of activity, and I think with Black Friday and stuff on the Amazon affiliate program through notpicks.com. So keep purchasing through NotPicks. There are so many great things to find there, and there's links to Amazon, and we get a little kickback. We aren't retiring from our day jobs yet, but we might be able to get to Shake Shack for a
maybe.
meal soon, a
Ev-
Christmas party for just the two of us, not families,
no,
not
no.
families.
Another few months and we'll be able to get that $18 hamburger or whatever they got there.
Yes, yes. But our Ramazon purchase this week, somebody purchased a 4 pack of Apple AirTags, but they also, I want to highlight, purchased the Wanchel 4 pack waterproof AirTag keychain with holder AirTag case with anti lost keychain, protective AirTag item finders for dog, cat, couldn't do it, luggage, wallet, backpacks. So it's high quality silica gel, 4.5 stars on 1,985 ratings. And Dave, what would you pay? Oh, we could do a little what would you pay on this
Hmm.
because I didn't give you a link. The Wanchel 4-pack waterproof AirTag keychain. Would you like to see an image of said
Sure,
keychain?
I'll see an image.
It is high quality silica gel, I will remind you. Feel
Oh,
good and easy to use.
let's see
Well
here.
wrapped and protected in place. I think they were using the Photos Translate app.
Oh, yes. Feel good and easy to use.
Yes. Unobstructed. Does not affect signal transmission at all.
Large elasticity, no deformation. Man, they're just describing something. There's something else they're describing here.
Yes, yes. Well,
Um,
back to what would you
back.
pay, Dave?
Okay, so four of those guys, and they're silicon rubber, uh, silica gel rather. I'm gonna go with this. This was 5.99.
Oh, well, it is list price 19.99 and it is a Cyber Monday deal down to 6.98. So you're $1
Oh,
off, which I
yeah,
will give you the win on that.
yeah.
That is
I'm
close
like
enough.
8.99 would be the max I would pay for that, and I'd always look for a
Yes.
deal.
Yes. And I was going to look too for a another pro tip. I think a lot, yeah, there it is. Returns returnable until January 31st, 2024. So we have moved into the holiday season. So a lot of companies you buy for, look at that return policy because you might get till the end of January, which is very generous.
Hey,
So obviously, if you're buying gifts for people, that makes sense that they wouldn't open it until Christmas or whenever you exchange gifts.
I
But
don't want to jump on that Ramazan pick of the week, but it's probably a month or so ago. Woot was having a deal, and I picked up a couple of these guys. They were two pack
oh,
for $20. The leather
yeah.
loop. Apple is getting rid of all their leather products.
Oh, yes.
I really want the keychain one that's like this big with a little keychain
Yeah,
thing, but it's not often you can get real leather products from
yeah.
Apple at that price. And
Steeply
so
discounted.
anyway,
Nice.
so that's you put your AirTag in there, and then you put the loop on there, and then you cinch it up, put on your bag or whatever. So
Very cool.
anyway, that was
Oh
10
man.
bones. So I know I got I don't after I bought it, I kind of had some buyer's remorse, but
Yes.
a
Hey,
little snap.
a
But
deal's a deal. You saved money
I
by
did.
buying
I
that.
know they were
That's
more
the
than that
logic.
before the discount. So
Yes, yes. Well, very cool. We had all kinds of bonus fun stuff in this episode, and I want to thank you to everybody that was able to join us live on YouTube. I believe next week we'll be back to regularly scheduled programming, Dave.
I believe so. Yes.
Yes, we should
After a
be back
long,
to our
long nap.
6:30. I did hear from Wes last week. He was like, "Ah, sorry I missed the live stream." It's like it's our fault, but it is available on YouTube or your favorite podcast app or our Rumble channel. You can catch it. But I do highly recommend watching the video. I mean, you get a lot of our faces and the driveway cam. What more do
Yeah.
you want?
I mean,
What more do you want?
the faces are worth it. So
Yeah, subscribe and like on YouTube, share it with a friend, post our content everywhere so that we can all get out there and tech better.